We'll chant some prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatir Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, chapter number 24, Worshipping the Govardhan Hill. We'll be reading today and discussing verse 6 to verse 11. So as we have so many verses, I would just recite them and read the translation and the purpose. Gyatva agyatva cha karmani janoyam anutisthati vidusha karma siddhi syad yatha na vidusho bhavet. Translation by the disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When people in this world perform activities, sometimes they understand what they are doing and sometimes they don't. Those who know what they are doing achieve success in their work, whereas ignorant people do not. Purport. The Lord here informs His Father that people should perform a particular ceremony or activity only after thoroughly understanding it through discussion with friends. We should not be blind followers of tradition. If a person doesn't even know what he's doing, how can he be successful in his work? This essentially is the Lord's argument in this verse. Since Sri Krishna, as the young child of Nanda, would naturally be expected to show enthusiasm for his father's religious activity, it was father's duty to give the son a thorough explanation of the ceremony. Going to the next shloka. Tatra tavat kriya yogo bhavatam kim vicharitaha athava laukikastanme rachata sadhu bhanyatam. Translation. Such being the case, this ritual of yours should be clearly explained to me. Is it a ceremony based on scriptural injunction or simply a custom of ordinary society? Next shloka. Sri Nanda uvacha parajanyo bhagavan indro meghas tasyatma murtayah tebhi varshanti bhutanam trinanam jivanam payah. Translation. Nanda Maharaj replied, the great Lord Indra is the controller of the rain. The clouds are his personal representatives, and they directly provide rainwater, which give happiness and sustenance to all creatures. Purport. Without clean rainwater, this earth could not possibly provide food or drink for anyone, nor could there be cleanliness. Thus, it would be difficult to overestimate the value of rain. Next shloka. Tam tata vayam anyacha varamucham patimishwaram dravyestad retasha siddhair yajante kratubhir nara. Translation. Not only we, my dear son, but also many other men worship him, the Lord, and master of the rain-giving clouds. We offer him grain and other paraphernalia of worship, produced through his own discharge in the form of rain. Purport. Nanda Maharaj patiently tried to explain the facts of life to his young son, Sri Krishna. But in fact, Nanda and all the residents of Vrindavan would learn an astonishing lesson as explained in this chapter. Next shloka. Tachesheno pajivanti trivarga falahetave pumsam purusha karanam parajanya phala bhavanaha. Translation. By accepting the remnants of sacrifices performed to Indra, people sustain their lives and accomplish the threefold aims of religiosity, economic development, and sense gratification. Thus, Lord Indra is the agent responsible for the fruitive success of industrious people. Purport. One might object that people sustain themselves by farming, industry, and so on. But as previously mentioned, all human and non-human endeavors depends on food and drink, which cannot be produced without ample rain. By the word Trivarga, Nanda further points out that the prosperity achieved through sacrifice for Indra is meant not merely for sense gratification, but also for religiosity and economic development. Unless people are well fed, it is difficult for them to execute their duties. And without performance of duty, it is very difficult to be religious. Shloka 11. Ya enam vishrajed dharmam param paryagatam naraha kamad dveshad bhayal lobhat so vai napnoti shobhanam. Translation. This religious principle is based on sound tradition. Anyone who rejects it out of lust, enmity, fear, or greed will certainly fail to achieve good fortune. Purport. If a person neglects his religious duties because of lust, envy, fear, or greed, his life will never be brilliant or perfect. Now we would chant some more prayers. Om Agyantimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uta Padkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Savadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Nitamsha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatam aham vande Shri Guru Deenatarinam. Hare Krishna everyone. So first of all, I'm seeking your blessings so that together we can glorify Shri Krishna. We are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, which is Amal Puran, spotless Puran. Grow our love towards Krishna. We are in the 10th canto, the Samam Bonam, the essence. So please bless me, everyone, those who are at the Bhakti Center, those who are joining us online, please bless me so I can utilize this time with your blessings in growing our affection towards Krishna and becoming more sincere on the path. So we have so many verses today. We have 6th, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And when I was going through these verses, so many thoughts were coming in my mind and in my heart. And I have been debating actually that what should I focus and what should I focus not on. So let's start with text 6. We'll go shloka by shloka. I'll mention thoughts which were coming in my mind, and I may dwell on them, or I may just put them as a thought and maybe explain some other things. And when we start our discussion, then we can maybe have more discussion on those thoughts. So in text 6, the translation says, when people in this world perform activities, sometimes they understand what they are doing and sometimes they don't. Those who know what they are doing achieve success in their work, whereas ignorant people do not. So see the shloka. In the shloka, these words are used. What words are used? So these are thoughts. This shloka is very power-packed actually. The first word says gyatva, understanding. The other word, next word says agyatva, not understanding. Then the other word here, other group of words is vidusha, one who is wise. And then it says avidusha, one who is foolish or one who is not wise. And then the word says karma siddhi, achievement of the intended goal of activity. So if we just look at the translation, it is basically such a simple advice. Whenever we are doing something, anything actually, any kind of activity is performed, we need to understand why are we doing that. And sometimes we actually don't know why we do that. So if we come in the category when we don't know what we are doing, then we are avidusha, that is we are foolish people. And that is, Krishna says, majority of the people are mudha. They don't know, they are ignorant. But we have to be understanding, we should be gyatva. Why? So that we have karma siddhi, that is achievement of the intended goal. So if we want success in anything in life, it's very, very important that we really understand why are we doing, what are we doing, how are we doing. All those questions needs to be answered. And now, especially when we are in bhakti, it's also very important what we do, how we do. Bhakti is not a process where we just follow our mind. So there is a shloka in Bhagavatam which says, Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana sarver gunesh samasatir sura harav bhaktasya kuto mahadguna manorathena asati dhavato bhahi. It says, what good quality is in a non-devotee? Who is driving the chariot of his own mind? So we have to be very, very attentive in checking whenever we are doing something, even in our spiritual life. Is it just coming through our mind? Or is it something which is enjoined by the scriptures? So this is a trio which we should always refer to. Here in the purport, it's been written that, we should thoroughly understand and discuss it with friends. So the trio which I'm talking about is Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. So whenever we have something, we can always ask Guru. That can be our Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru. We can ask Sadhu. So all devotees, our association is Sadhu, one who is following the regulative principles, chanting 16 rounds, living a pure lifestyle. Sadhu. They are friends. They can be senior, they can be junior, but we can always bounce our ideas on them. Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, scripture. So whenever we have any kind of doubt or anything which we would like to start, anything which is new, it's always good to discuss. And this trio is always very helpful. So we should not be following blindly. We are not the followers of blind tradition as it's written here in this shloka. So that was one point which I very much liked in this part. The other part which I wanted to focus was, if you see the word gyatva and agyatva, which is understanding and not understanding. Sometimes we understand few things, sometimes we don't understand things. And it is just perception. And perception is something which can sometimes give us very clear picture, because we say, oh, I feel it, without any fact or like any data or anything. And sometimes it's true, and sometimes it's totally not true. And I just want to focus that how we should always give benefit of doubt, and we should try not to be judgmental. We should try to be more understanding than not understanding. So many examples are there in Bhagavatam, in our scriptures, where wrong perception led to embarrassing moments. Like in Mahabharata, Bhim is in the forest, and he comes across this big monkey, and Bhim doesn't realize that it is Hanu. Or we see, if you read the description of Kubja, externally she looks totally very, very unattractive, but internally she has such beauty and so much love for Krishna. And when Krishna comes and Krishna touches her, you see all that comes out. So one may have any kind of judgment, but we just know the true situation. And we start to have these stories in our mind. As it is said, it's a common saying, life is how you decide to perceive it. So it's very important that we keep our perceptions in check and try not to be avidusha, but vidusha. That is wise. So that was another point which was coming from the shloka alone. If you look at the purport, it's very nicely written here in the purport that Krishna, who is a young child, is naturally showing an enthusiasm for his father's religious activity. And it was his father's duty to give son a thorough explanation of the ceremony. So here I was just thinking about father's duty. So we have the shloka in the Bhagavad Gita, Yad yad acharatis shreshthas tat tad evetaro jana sayat pramanam kurute lokasthat anuvartate. So what it means that whatever great people do, Krishna is telling Arjuna, common people follow. So this Acharya word is very important. Acharya basically means guru, but it comes from the word achar, that is behavior. So Acharya is someone whose behavior is ideal, who walks his talk. And us being in any kind of leadership position, whether we are in homes, we are taking care of kids, we are going to work, we are supervising people, we are in the temple, leading some seva, any kind of position where we are leading anybody, we have a responsibility on our shoulders. And that's our duty. And it is a very important duty. And we'll talk about why this duty is so important in the following shlokas. But overall, as in this shloka, Yajyat Acharya Shreshthas, if we go in the purport of that, in the Bhagavad Gita, we see that if these leaders, they do immoral things, they are not responsible, then that's the tradition they actually create. And that destroys the society. So that is one viewpoint of looking at it. But we'll see something more. So that was verse number 6. Now let's go to the next verse. The next verse is saying, such being the case, this ritualistic endeavor of yours should be clearly explained to me. Is it ceremony based on scriptural injunction or simply a custom of ordinary society? So Krishna is becoming low. Krishna is going into detail and asking his father what this ceremony is about. And then Nand Maharaj starts to speak, and that is verse number 8. And he says, great Lord Indra. And there this word Bhagavan is used, and it is translated as the great Lord. But if you see for Krishna, it is used Shri Bhagavan in Bhagavad Gita. Shri is basically Lakshmi, the energy of the Lord. And our Acharyas go at length to basically explain what Shri and what Bhagavan means. And the first time it comes in the 2nd chapter. But overall, just for a great Lord, this word Bhagavan is used. So we should not confuse that Bhagavan is being used here. So Indra is equivalent to Krishna. He is great Lord. He's a great controller. That's all. He is not Parameshwar. He is not Param controller or super controller or ultimate controller. So in this shloka, Nand Maharaj is saying the great Lord Indra is the controller of the rain. The clouds are his personal representatives and they provide rainwater, which gives happiness and sustenance to all creatures. So verse 8 onwards, in purport also, without clean rainwater, the earth would not possibly provide food, drink, or anyone. So it's talking about gratitude. If we go to next shloka, it says, not only we, my dear son, but also many other people worship Lord and Master of rain-giving clouds. So we are offering him grain and other paraphernalia of worship produced through his own discharge in the form of rain. And in purport, it's a quote fact of life, that how much Nand Maharaj is thinking that the Brajvasis and everybody else is dependent on rain. So again, more gratitude there. Although in the purport, we are talking that there'll be another lesson lying for them in the future. So in the next shloka, which is the 10th shloka. So 10th shloka says, by accepting remnants of sacrifices performed to Indra, people sustain their lives and accomplish the threefold aims. Thus, Lord Indra is the agent responsible for fruitive success of industries. So let's first focus on gratitude here. So it's very simple. Identifying that there is a gratitude theme going on. But we have to see one thing, that gratitude is not that simple thing to actually follow in today's culture. Why? Because in Bhagavad Gita, there is a shloka on the 2nd chapter, which says, Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsam Sangas Teshopajayate. Sangat Sanjayate Kama Krodho Bijayate, which means what? We contemplate Dhyayato, we are doing dhyan, meditation. Vishayan, Vishaya means objects, senses. Pumsam, Sangash Teshopajayate. So Upajayate means Sangha is Upajayate. Association or attachment is being sown in our heart. We become attached. And Sangat Sanjayate Kama, after attachment is there, then comes lust. What is this lust? Basically here means our selfish desire to enjoy. That is lust. And if that lust is fulfilled, it is greed. If it is not fulfilled in the shloka, it talks about anger comes. So in today's world, if you see, because of the phone, because of the social media, because of the internet, we are much more aware than people of the past. And mind is always bombarded, with newer and newer things. Newer and newer desires come in. So that's why it is very, very distracting to practice gratitude. Even though we might have enough as per what we would like to be. There is one thing that, you have just enough to just get by. There is another level, you have the resources with which you want to live in a certain way. But then there is another way, when you keep on looking at other things and you're always distracted, thinking, I have less, I want more, I want more. So I was just thinking, how can we cultivate gratitude? So one thing is that we should check our mind, that we should not let the culture define our frame of reference. Because we cannot control what is being displayed to us, but we can definitely control what are we dwelling on. So we should not contemplate indiscriminately. So otherwise we'll just go in a distressed condition. Best is to contemplate on Krishna as much as we can, or on good things, or on just basic gratitude. And also in life, we should find a meaningful purpose. So now someone may say, we have meaningful purpose, that's why we are sitting to this in this morning reading Srimad Bhagavatam. But no, we should define it more. What way can I serve? What way can I contribute? What way can I have more meaning, not only to my bhakti, but to all the others who are around me? So if we are striving purposefully in this matter, then we are craving less. then everything becomes irrelevant. So we need to change our culture, our frame of reference, and we need to have a meaningful purpose. This way, gratitude will be very, very much possible. In the Bible also, it is said that pray without ceasing, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God. And I was also hearing some acharyas in our parampara, and they were saying that gratitude is one of those prayers which are most dear to Krishna. And we also have to understand one more thing, that gratitude is not just a positive emotion. Gratitude can be multiple levels. So, at one level, it can be just a positive emotion that you found one day, you have a gratitude journal and you opened it up and you said, I'm very grateful today because, say, I was walking on the street and Adi Purush Prabhu came and he gave me a shirt or he gave me prasad. I am so happy, so grateful to him. It's just a positive emotion. Better than would be having an appreciative disposition, that I try to see good. Whenever there is any situation, I try to find good and I try to be grateful about that. But even better than that would be whatever happens in my life, it's a reminder of the goodness which is existing in this world. But all these three levels of gratitude are material. The highest level would be that whenever I see something, I just see how great Krishna is, how good Krishna is, how he has created these seasons, his fruits. Like this morning, I was hearing senior devotee about gratitude, and he was saying that how we should be grateful even for the saliva and the tongue we have in our mouth. If there is no saliva, we cannot even get the food down and digest it. So we even don't know. We should be grateful for people. He was saying those who have hair, they should be grateful. Those who don't have hair, they should be grateful. We should be grateful for whatever we have. That way, we can connect with Krishna on a deeper level. And why we should be? Because in again Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Mama Tejo Amsha Sambhavam, means whatever you are seeing in this world, it's all just my splendor. It's a spark of my splendor. So this is the thing on gratitude. Now coming to this shloka, 10th shloka, which we were talking. Here this word, three varga is mentioned. So first of all, generally four words are mentioned. That is, can someone tell me what those four words are? I think we don't have time. So maybe I will only say it. So it is basically Dharma, that is religiosity, Artha, economic development, Kama, sense gratification, and Moksha. See, but for even Nanda Maharaj knows that Indra can only give three varga. He can only give you religiosity, economic development, and sense gratification. Again, only Krishna is the Mukunda who can give liberation, no one else. So it's another thing which I was thinking on. And if you see here also, in this shloka also, they are not only talking about sense gratification. That, rain has come, nice food is being grown, and we eat it, and it's just enjoyment. Or we get a lot of stuff and we sell, and there is trade and there is money. But there is religiosity also. So that was another point, that the universal government is made in a way, even the demigods are there in a way that they encourage religiosity. So that was also very, very important thing, which I found from the shloka. Another important point which I liked about the purport was that unless people are well fed, it is difficult for them to execute their duties. And without performance of duty, it is very difficult to be religious. So we have to understand, first we have to come to the level of duty. Then dharma starts after duty. But before there is duty, before we are performing our duty, we have to take care of ourselves. So sometimes I've seen that devotees, they don't take care of themselves. And then it becomes very difficult for them to practice bhakti. So it's our very important and very essential need that we take care of this body We take care of our economic situation. We take care of all the people around us. It's very, very important. It says in Hindi, bhuke pet bhajan nahi hota. Means if you are hungry, you cannot do bhajan. You need to be well fed. You need to be in a basic situation of your basic needs met. Then only you can do bhakti. So it's very, very important. In the next shloka, it is written that if person neglects his religious duties, then that person will never be perfect or brilliant. So how important it is for us to do our duties. And now once we have come in this movement, we have accepted gurus, we have accepted the shelter of Srila Prabhupada, we have accepted Krishna's message, we have even more duties towards them. We have commitment towards them. And it's so important. So we should try never to neglect all these duties also because of lust that we want to enjoy. We are looking, even when we are doing seva, I'm just thinking, how can I benefit out of it? Or if we are seeing someone grow nearby us, like they are flourishing or something is happening, feeling that envy. Or we are fearful, oh, that too much bhakti. Or even greed, that there is puja la pratishtha. That let me get this, let me get that. If we do all those things, the duty aspect will go away. And if that happens, life will never be brilliant, means we will not be happy in this life and it will not be perfect. When we die, we will not achieve perfection. So with this, I open for question and answers. I think I have exceeded my time limit given to me by Anand Bihari Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Karuna Nimai Prabhu, beautiful class. We have some questions in the chat. For the first one from Andrea, how do we differentiate between guru and sadhu? Are you guru or a sadhu, Karuna Nimai?
Me?
Yeah.
Us to decide who is guru. So if we are taking diksha from someone, that person is our guru. If we have a primary spiritual preceptor, person from whom we learn spirituality, then that person is our shiksha guru. We get shiksha. In our parampara, shiksha guru and diksha guru have been given a lot of importance, because in the lineage also there are people who have taken diksha from people, but then they have taken shiksha from somebody else. So both of them go hand in hand. And if we come to a self-realized state, then everything is actually giving us shiksha. That gratitude which I was talking about, you see the hand of divine everywhere. So there is Avdut Brahman, who is seeing that the fire is the teacher, the ocean is the teacher, the air is the teacher. Anyone can be a teacher. We can have that gratitude. So Diksha Guru is very simple. That is, Diksha is Divya and Iksha, that's Shiksha. One who is giving you Divya Shiksha, Diksha. So one who is giving you mantra, one who is giving you instructions, from whom in front of you taking vows, that is your Diksha Guru. Shiksha Guru, whoever inspires you to become sincere on this path of bhakti, can be Shiksha Guru.
Thank you. And sadhu?
Sadhu is one who is living a pure life. And what do we mean by pure life? The lifestyle which is given to us by our Acharyas, by Srila Prabhupada. So technically, if everyone is following properly the principles given to us by Srila Prabhupada, everybody is a sadhu. So chanting 16 rounds, following regulative principles, coming to the temple, serving in the temple, trying to have pure intentions, pure heart. Whoever is following all that, they are sadhus. All of them are sadhus.
Yeah, like Guru Sharan is a perfect example of a sadhu.
Yes.
Living the principles, living the life. Okay, Temple Room, do you have any questions or comments? Another sadhu comes up, Adi.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Can you hear us okay?
Yeah.
Guru is here also.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're reading this story about Krishna. When you sit back and look at the big picture, it's very similar to what he did in the previous story. Through the instrument of the Brahmin's wives, he instructed devotees who had been somewhat religious to a higher level. And here Krishna is working to uplift Indra and the residents of Vrindavan to a higher level, from the demigod worship level to the level of love of God. And it's showing, and he's doing it in a very roundabout way, giving this philosophy, convincing his father, let's not worship Indra. You know, he's not really providing everything. And in this way, he's provoking the false ego of Indra. We're getting a little ahead of the story here, but basically it's Krishna working in his mischievous but loving way to help people come to a higher level. And that's basically what's happening in the story. So it's very interesting how wonderful Krishna is, that he's concerned about us. And even those that have taken up some kind of religious activity, they may not be at the perfectional level, but he makes some arrangement for us. Thank you, Krishna. All glory to Prabhupada.
Thank you, Adi Prabhu. Thank you.
It's so nice and comforting to know that Krishna will interfere when we need it. How wonderful is Krishna that he's not just passively watching, letting us go down the rabbit hole. He will interfere. That's nice. Thank you. There's a question from William Prabhu, a little bit on the esoteric side of things. Can we have lust for Krishna? Some say that Krishna's devotees are the lustiest of all. So can there be two ways to look at the word lust?
I think it is above my pay grade to comment on this. But still, just I'll try. Yes, we can be lusty for Krishna. There are some devotees who become lusty for Krishna. But those are pure devotees. All the emotions, sentiments we have in this world are also there in spiritual world for Krishna. But in this material world, as you see that when it's rain, so rainwater is pure water, but when it touches the ground, it becomes muddy. Similarly, because our consciousness, our ego is not pure, so whatever emotions we'll have will also not be pure. So it's good to have attraction towards Krishna. And if someone is having those kind of emotions, it's great. But then under the instruction of proper spiritual master, bona fide spiritual master, following sadhana bhakti, the rules and regulations, the pure side of those emotions start to appear. And you will know when they are pure. So it takes time. But if you please the Guru, then it will not take that much time also. But if us, as I was telling, that whenever we are feeling something spiritual, we should always check with Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. And then try to understand that where we are. That's very important. Not ride the chariot of our mind. Because mind, till the time it is fully purified and as a servant of Krishna, is 100% going to give us wrong advice and wrong things in our head. So we have to be very careful with that. But with proper consultation with Guru and with sadhus, we will know the truth. So in essence, yes, we can have lust for Krishna. It is better to have lust for Krishna than anybody else. But still, that lust is not pure till the time we become pure devotees of Krishna.
In other words, be careful. Don't
ride the chariot of your mind.
Yeah. There's a question from Andrea. Andrea, would you like to read your question?
Hare Krishna, yes, no, but I'm fine when you read it too. Thank you. So my question was, how do you personally cultivate more gratitude in your life or integrate it in your spiritual life? I just was wondering if you had any practical advice for all of us. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm smiling because the voice of my wife is in my head. But
what is she saying?
Try to be grateful to your wife. But let's come back. So if you see during the discussion, I was sharing that how gratitude can be just a positive emotion. then it can evolve to an appreciative disposition. Then it can be to a higher place where it is a constant reminder. And the final was to basically see Krishna's divine hand everywhere. And the gratitude becomes divine. So that's the trajectory which I would say that if we have to practice gratitude, we can start with a simple emotion. That maybe once a day or once in a week, we just reflect and can we find one thing we are grateful for. If we practice it continuously, you would see that we'll have a disposition towards it. Every day we would find something that we are grateful for. And people have all these tools outside. They have gratitude journal and so many things people do. And then higher level than that would be that we come to a stage when we see the good in everything. We can feel the good in the world. And that way we have that positive attitude. But this becomes divine. It's still material. This becomes divine only when we have gratitude for Krishna. When we see the sun and the moon and we say that sun is the eye of the Lord. When we taste a fruit, we know the taste is there because Krishna, you have given taste. I'm so grateful to you. When we are having prasad, we are grateful that today we have got this delicious prasad. As we have the prayer, say Anna Amrit Pao, Radha Krishna Gungao. That I have received this nectar from Krishna. I have offered it to you, Krishna. Actually, offering is an act of gratitude. Because ultimately, what we got, that's what we are showing. So, I think does that answer your question, Andrea?
Yes, thank you so much. And I was actually inspired by what you said, if it's okay to share. I saw a quote from Michael J. Fox. He's a famous American actor who, I believe he has Parkinson. He has a disease that's really affected his body. And he was giving an interview where he said that gratitude makes optimism sustainable. And I feel like that quote is applicable to our spiritual life as well, especially after what you shared, that if we have that attitude of gratitude to Krishna, then our optimism for our spiritual life can be sustainable and we can continue going on with it, even when things become difficult. Like if there's mundane things or politics or whatever, but if we keep that attitude of gratitude for Krishna, and I love that idea of seeing Krishna's hand in everything, then optimism is sustainable, and especially for the most important thing, spiritual life. But it works in mundane life as well. So thank you so much.
Yes, Andrea. I would also say that what I shared is more like do's. And the don'ts is that we should also have, as I was sharing, we should not let the culture define our frame of reference for things. And let's not contemplate on things around us in a way that we want to enjoy those things. And cultivating a meaningful purpose. Then only gratitude will be possible. Because now in this world, day and age, we are constantly bombarded by all these sort of things, news and Instagram and whatnot, TikTok, and we see new things and our mind is like distracted. That is also there. So that Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsam Shloka is also very, very applicable in practicing gratitude. But the best would be that if we can just see hand of Krishna. And again, in that, seeing hand of Krishna, but it's also should be in the right balance. Not seeing anything bad happening in my life. Oh, this is because of Krishna. So blaming Krishna, basically. So this also needs to be practiced. And that's why, again, the Guru Sadhu Shastra thing comes. So till we become mature, we should share what are we grateful for? And we should check that, is this thing fitting inside this trio? That's also important.
Nice, Karuna Nimai Prabhu. I liked how you said, don't blame Krishna. There's a verse, Tatenu Kampam Susamikshamanu. Whatever difficulty is there in my life, that's my past misdeeds, and I'm patiently suffering, and I'm patiently waiting for Krishna to bestow his mercy. That's the attitude of gratitude verse. Tatenu Kampam Susamikshamanu. And also, one more point. the good qualities like gratitude, humility, they all come from practicing bhakti as a byproduct. So sometimes we focus on a particular quality, but they will all come. When we chant Hare Krishna, when we do service, attend class, it will all come naturally as a byproduct. Just to add to everything that has been said.
There's another question in the chat.
Yes.
What is it? Outside being a mother, daughter, sister, devotee, and these things, one is obviously born to. What suggestions do you have for finding one's duty? Okay, what's your duty if you're a sister, daughter? That's a question from Andrew.
We have duty to the country, we have duty to the city, we have duty to the community, we have duty to the living entities around us. And how do we know what exactly those duties are? Because we have less time, I would say associating with devotees, reading scriptures very much clearly specify what are our duties. And if we are not clear with that, just following the path of bhakti, all the other duties will also be fulfilled. So, but again, not following path of bhakti in a way of just mind, chariot of mind, but scriptural and connecting with sadhu and guru.
Thank you. Yeah, we don't drop our duties. We do them nicely externally.
Yes, we never drop our duties.
But inside we know that I'm doing it for Krishna. I'm a daughter for Krishna. I'm a mother for Krishna.
Okay, Prabhu.
Darshan time. Thank you, Karuna Nimai Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Okay, let's spotlight Bhakti Center, please. Darshan is coming. Cameras on if you can, please.
Switch off the class.
Thank you very much. Okay, that was it for today. Thank you very much, dear spirit souls. Hare Krishna. Very nice seeing you. Thank you for attending this class so steadily. Have a wonderful day. Cultivate gratitude. Be grateful. Count your blessings. There are many of them. Yeah. Kiss your pets. Kiss your friends. Kiss everybody. Okay. Hare Krishna.